Hey, Craig from Flat Out Motorsports. What do we got going on for you today? Well, we have a representative in from Alpine Stars. What are we going to be talking about? The Tech Air 3 and Tech Air 5. What is it? I have no idea. He's going to explain everything to us. But for now, check out this montage.
Introducing the world's first autonomous airbag system. Featuring an electronic system with advanced sensors that detect when you're in a crash situation in 2 milliseconds. 12 sensors communicate with the intelligent crash algorithm in the event of a crash, instantly deploying 2 high-pressure argon inflators. Complete 360 degrees of upper body inflatable coverage. The Tech Air airbag system provides the most comprehensive coverage of any airbag for unrivaled protection. Introducing Tech Air, the world's first autonomous airbag system.
Okay, we're back, and we got Peter here. He is with Alpine Stars. Sir, thanks for coming in. Man, you're looking good there. What's that?
Absolutely. So this is going to be my TSPX Super Air riding jacket, a nice mesh sport riding jacket for the summer here.
That is nice, and that's what we're here to talk about. We're talking about some of the jackets, protective stuff that we have going on here. He is an encyclopedia of knowledge. I'm going to hand it over to him. What have I got here? Tell me what this is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the focus today is going to be Alpine Stars Tech Air technology, which is motorcycle wearable airbags. This is going to give you full upper body protection ahead of the first impact in a crash.
Okay, now I've seen some of those videos. I've seen them where they've deployed. So that's what this is. That's what this technology is. As you come off your bike, and it's deployed before you get to the asphalt. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So this is technology that was pioneered in MotoGP coming up on 20 years ago. We've had prototypes for over 15 years, and we've had different versions for the street for a couple years now, culminating in what we have today, which is going to be the Tech Air 5 and the Tech Air 3, which are similar in the way they work, but they are going to vary a little bit as far as form factor, depending on what type of bike you ride and what you're doing on the streets, on the tracks, to find out what's the right one for you.
Okay, so normally you would wear this under or over a particular jacket?
Yeah, so in the case of the Tech Air 5, that's always going to be underneath a compatible riding jacket.
Okay.
So it does rely on the abrasion resistance of a jacket or a suit.
Gotcha.
The Tech Air 5 having the advantage of switchable algorithms, you can use this on the racetrack. So if you're riding on the street but also take your sport bike to the track on the weekends, you can use Tech Air 5, switch the algorithm, and use basically a similar algorithm to what we use in MotoGP as well.
Now, is that something that you manually have to switch, the algorithm?
Yeah, so there's a Tech Air app. It's a free app. You download it to your phone, and that's what you use to switch the algorithms.
Okay, so you're basically letting your jacket know, hey, today I'm going to go drag my knee, or hey, today I'm going to work.
Yeah, it's going to stay. It's going to stay where you're at on the algorithm that left it last time.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to choose it every day. If you only ride street, you never have to touch it. You just leave it in street mode. If you only ride track, it's that way too. But if you ride on Putnam Park on Saturday, Sunday, go for out some laps, change to street mode to go commute to work on Monday.
Okay, that's awesome. So you're basically controlling what you want it to do for how you ride and how you play and commute, things like that. So
exactly.
So you would just have a regular jacket like this, and then you would add to this, right?
Right.
This jacket doesn't have this type of technology.
Correct. So this is just a jacket right here, which we've had for a long time. So the Tech Air 5, I would wear that underneath this TSPX Super Air jacket.
Okay.
The Tech Air 3 is a little bit different. So that's something that we always wear on the outside, and I actually can show you one right here.
Okay.
How that fits. So this is the Tech Air 3. I'm going to put this on top of my jacket because this airbag has its own abrasion resistance built in. So all you have to do is a magnetized zipper down here. Zip this up. There's a sensor right here. It's going to vibrate, turn blue, and then go through a startup sequence. And this is going to get the readings from the sensors. It's got accelerometers and gyroscopes in both systems to understand your movement on the bike. Once it goes blue and vibrates, it's going to be fully armed. So now it's ready to go. That's all it takes. By the time you're on your bike and out of the parking lot, you're good to go.
Okay, so does this you have to recharge this over a period of time? So it comes with a charging port, and then just like your phone, you would plug this thing in, and it would do a charge over the night, and you would put it back on, and then you're good to go. How long is the charge on this? How long will this thing last?
Sure.
If I want to go ride all day.
Sure. So Tech Air 5 is going to have a battery life of about 30 hours. Tech Air 3 is about 40 hours.
Oh, wow.
And that's only ride time. So if it's unzipped, it's not armed, you're not burning any battery.
Oh, okay.
I'll do long rides with my buddies and, multi-day, 10, 12-hour days. On the third day, I'll need to charge, and I just kind of bring a little juice pack with me, or if you've got, of course, a wall charger, that works as well.
Okay.
Real quick to charge up.
Wow. So you can get a lot of...
For some people, that's the whole riding season, but I don't have a car. I commute every single day, so I do have to charge about once a month, which isn't even that much.
Okay. Now, I noticed on this one's got the back protector.
Exactly.
So this is going to go in place under my leather because it's got the back protector. And I think you would you have to pull the protection out for this thing to go in. That way you're not double stacked.
Yeah, so if you've already got a jacket with a back protector in the slot in the back, you don't need to have that. You can pull that out if you're running a Tech Air 5. So that has its own passive back protector built in.
Okay. Now, have you gotten to play with this? Have you gotten to have one of these deploy on you?
Yeah, several times, and I've actually crashed in one in real life. So,
okay.
Last May, I was at a racetrack in my R1 and crashed at about 70 miles an hour.
Right.
It's a pretty fast crash, and I was able to get up and go to work the next day without even some soreness. So
no kidding.
It definitely works.
Well, that brings me into the next question. So you still have all your stuff, and it's deployed. It's not going to deploy again. You have to get it so it can deploy again. What's the process on that?
Yeah, so they are repackable. They're not single-time use. After a deployment, you send one back to us in California.
Okay.
In the case of the Tech Air 5, the repack is going to be $179.95. That's replacing the canisters. Back to you, and you're good to go again.
Okay.
And we can do that 3 times until we replace the bladder. So that's a $300 repack charge. So if you're crashing over and over and over, it's $180, $180, $300, $180, $180, $300. But if you're crashing that much, I think you're getting your money's worth.
Yeah, you're definitely. If it was me crashing that much, I probably need to pick a different sport.
Look into golf.
Yeah, golf. Okay, awesome. Is there any other cool features on these that you can kind of go over with me that a consumer would look for? Why they would want this over something else?
Yeah.
Is Alpine Stars the only one that has this technology?
There's a few other companies that do similar things, but there's really no one that's even in the same ballpark as far as the level of development in the algorithm and the usability, lightweight, and cost-effectiveness of what we do here.
Okay. Now, I did check with the parts guys down there, and I think we've actually sold a couple of these. So there's some guys out there riding around that have these. I'm not sure which ones that they have. So I know that we have them in the store, and people are interested in them, obviously, for safety reasons. But like just wondering, like on the adventure bike stuff, obviously with the adventure jackets and things like that, I could still use this underneath that, or does it go? It would go on top, right? Because this is a vest style.
Right. So Tech Air 5 always underneath your jacket.
Always underneath.
If you're riding at the track. In the Tech Air 3, it can be under just like the Tech Air 5 or over like I have it here, because this has its own abrasion resistance built in. So there's benefits and differences between the two. So one of the main advantages of the Tech Air 3, the price is a little bit lower at $599.
Okay.
And also has its own abrasion resistance. So, of course, we want you wearing a jacket or some protective gear at all times, but for some people who don't wear a jacket all the time, you can wear this by itself.
Okay.
Of course, we prefer you're wearing a jacket all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
This one always needs to be underneath the jacket.
Sure.
Both are going to be compatible with all sorts of riding in the street mode. So this one has the track mode, so it can be switched into the track mode if you're doing a track day.
Sure.
This one's going to be street only. Within that street algorithm, you do have a pretty wide envelope. If you're riding a cruiser, you're riding a scooter, even a light adventure bike. If you're riding gravel roads, fire roads, that type of stuff, that street algorithm is going to work in that envelope.
Okay. Wow. These things are cool. I'm going to have to get one of these.
Exactly.
Do you have anything else for us?
No, I mean, there's a lot to know about this. Like I said, there's been about 20 years of development into this, and it's something we started out just by putting the accelerometers and gyroscopes on MotoGP athletes to understand the movement on the bike. For a lot of people, this is new technology. For us, it's not. We have a lot of R&D done into this to understand and make this work in a day-to-day situation. There's really no way to brake too hard and deploy that. That's a concern that some people have. And I wear it every single day. I ride wheelies. I, ride like a hooligan all the time. And it understands that I'm not crashing in those cases. So it's a very well figured out algorithm.
Now, I would assume that, I know a lot of this is for street and some of the dual sport stuff, but I would assume that if you were a weekend warrior out playing in the dirt, motocross and stuff, even just having something like this underneath a jacket, if it was a trail ride or something like that, would definitely add to your safety. Anything that you can to protect the body is going to work. You're still going to get those same G ratings and things like that coming off of a
Sure.
anything.
This isn't going to be for a motocross application or for enduro even, but for light off-road. Say if you ride a Africa Twin, a Tenere 700,
Yeah, I think
a
that's
KTM 890, those bigger adventure bikes or middleweight adventure bikes, you're good to go because I don't know anyone who's going to scrub that over a tabletop or whatever, right?
No, I haven't seen that.
Exactly. So you're okay as long as you're mostly not jumping in street mode, but we do have development in off-road airbag system. So that's something we'll see later this year. We've prototyped that into car racing. So,
Gotcha.
Fifth gear across the dunes in Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
If something goes wrong, you definitely need an airbag, and we are protecting those athletes.
Okay. So these are definitely making their way with all that stuff. Man, that's really
Absolutely.
cool. This is some great technology. I'm super excited you came in. Anything else to add before we close out?
No, I think that's it. Definitely come on by, see what you guys fits for you, what type of riding you do. And this by far is going to be the best way you can protect yourself, assuming you're already wearing a helmet.
All right, cool. Well, Peter, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. This is great technology. I've learned a lot, actually, just talking to you here just for a few short minutes. You can check out all that stuff. It's here in the parts department here at Flat Out Motorsports. See ya.
Have a good one.